Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to the Morning Mindset. Are you ready to get your mind ready for the day? Let's not think about tomorrow or next week. Let's kind of set aside all the plans that we have so that we can think about today. Do you find yourself doing that sometimes? Your mind is so forward thinking that you forget to prepare yourself adequately for today. Think ahead to this day, what you know is ahead for you. Do you have conversations, interactions, work situations, relational conversations that you know are coming and you are not really prepared for it? And when I say prepared, I don't mean making a bullet point list for yourself of to-dos. What I mean is having your mind right, having yourself ready for what is ahead. That is what the Morning Mindset is all about. If you'd like to find out more about the Morning Mindset, go to careygreen.com/mm or check the description of this episode in your podcast player. Now, when we think about getting ready for today, I want to, be honest about the fact that life many times has very hard circumstances in it, sometimes very hard seasons that we have to navigate. And the psalmists, the writers of the Psalms, are not strangers to that phenomenon in life. In fact, they are neck deep in it much of the time as we read through the psalm. And today I want to read portions of Psalm chapter 10. Psalm chapter 10 is one of those that you might consider a psalm of complaint. It's where the writer does not understand what God is doing. Can you put yourself in those sandals? Do you understand what that is like? I'm sure all of us would say yes. There are times in life when we don't understand what God is doing, and we're questioning, we're curious, we are hurting, and wanting to know why relief is not coming. That is exactly where the writer found himself in Psalm chapter 10. Here's how it begins. Why, O Lord, do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble? Now, please, let's not kind of brush this under the rug as kind of inappropriate or man, that's kind of scary to be questioning God. I find that the Psalms are very helpful in letting me know what is appropriate and what is not, because it is inspired scripture from God's very pen through the voices of these authors. And God ordained for this to come to us this way. And I believe that part of the implication there is that it is okay to ask God these questions. It is okay to wonder about the things going on in life and ask God to give us answers. And so when the psalmist here says, why do you stand far away? Why do you hide yourself during this time of trouble? He's speaking from his perspective. It appears that God has hidden himself. It appears that God is far off. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I have been there, and I'm confident that you have too. And the psalmist goes on through this psalm, and he talks about how the wicked people around him seem to be prospering in spite of their arrogance, in spite of their wickedness, in spite of their intent to do evil. And the psalmist cries out in verse 12, "Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up your hand. Forget not the afflicted." So he's saying people like me who are being oppressed and pushed down by these wicked people, don't forget us. Don't forget us, Lord. It's a prayer request, a begging for God's mercy. And he goes on and he says, Lord, call these people to account. Break the arm of the wicked and evildoer, he says in verse 15. Call his wickedness to account till you find none. You see, he's wanting God to display his righteous character. And one of the things we can be assured of, friends, is that God hates wickedness and sin more than we do. Though we are often the victims of it, he hates it. The psalmist ends with this affirmation, "The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations perish from his land. O Lord, you hear the desire of the afflicted. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth may strike terror no more." My friends, be encouraged by that today. God hears your prayers, so keep praying. Join me again tomorrow for the Morning Mindset.